Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. As you may have seen, I have not uploaded in a while, which is due to multiple factors. But quickly describe it, my main ones are I've currently got a trip going to Norway in February, which I'm currently planning. And I'm also redoing my whole website. If you didn't know, I own a website pretty much all about adventuring and reptiles, about my life pretty much. And I've been completely redoing that, my blog section, my gallery, projects that I'm working on. So if you want to see what kind of projects I've been working on for the past few years, you can go check my projects tab on my website. If you would like to see my website, it's Life of Turtles blog, and there's a link in the description that you can go and click. My main point of having multiple channels is that I want to spread and educate people about reptiles, conservation and animals in general. And basically this is going to be a series of 67 couple of minute videos about certain animals that I believe if you're willing to learn about, you will be able to look after them yourself. Now these are going to range from beginner animals to expert animals to animals you may never thought you'd be able to keep, but by watching these videos you may understand what the needs for the reptiles are, and you may actually find out that you're able to provide these and you can look after reptiles you never thought you could have before. So each video will cover categories. Now these are money, time, requirement, lifespan and care level. Money, time and lifespan are pretty self-explanatory, but requirements will be definite needs for the animals. For example, if they need a certain humidity, or if they need a certain temperature, if they need higher temperature than most animals, and so on and so on. And also care level will be how used you are to looking after reptiles and the time and effort you'll put into looking after them. So let's get right into it. So the first of the series might surprise you a little bit. It's the almighty Western Hognose snake. Now, a bit of general knowledge beforehand, these snakes are some of the most unique, passive-looking snakes you will find and are so interesting. One of the cool defensive mechanisms they have is being able to play dead when threatened. Now, this has never happened to me before, and I will try and find a video on YouTube about it, but there is a few pros and cons. Now, hognoses are rear fang venomous, which might put you off. But before you completely rule out these amazing creatures, please understand that the venom that it carries is extremely weak and will not cause any immediate danger to you. For one, the venom is no worse than a bee sting when you're bitten, if you are bitten. Now there is an exception. If you are allergic to the venom, it can be quite dangerous for you. This could put off some people and it's completely understandable. I have 2 hognoses. And I'll get to the next point in a minute. They are extremely docile animals. But it's like any venom you may come across. A bee sting. A normal bee sting will hurt, but it won't matter all that much after a few days. Same with a hognose bite. But if you're allergic to a bee sting, it can lead to more complicated scenarios. As they are rear fang, they will often dry bite. And in the background, you can see both my hognoses dry biting me. Now, this isn't a so-called dry bite, as it didn't actually bite me at all. They just headbutt me, which most hognoses will do. But if they do bite you, most of the time it will just be a quick snap on your finger. Now, for them to inject the venom, they will have to get a sturdy grip and pretty much chew on you to get inject the venom into you. There is many ways to get a snake off your hand for doing that. There will be another video going up sometime in the next few weeks about techniques of calming down your snake and what happens if they do grab on and latch onto you. But that's the only way they're going to be able to inject venom, so it's not exactly a scary prospect when you'll be able to get them off quickly and easily. First off, money. A normal Western hognose will put you back around 50 to 60 British pounds for an adult. This is extremely cheap for such an interesting snake. 50 to 60 pounds is about $100, I think. They're extremely cheap animals. The vivarium cost will be less as well, as they do not need special needs or anything. They just need basic needs as any other snake would. Now for time, they also are really good, as they don't need much attention at all. They need to be fed an adequate sized mouse once every 10 days when they're an adult, and once every 6 days when young. This is the same with any other snake if you want it, and there will be another video, I know I keep saying this, but there will be another video about size of mice and how to feed certain creatures, because I do have loads of people, not on YouTube but in real life, ask me, some of my reptiles don't eat, how can I fix this? And it's not just for snakes, it's for frogs, it's for iguanas, and I will try and help people overcome this problem. Also, they do not need a set humidity, which is great, because one of the downsides to some snakes is people don't have lots and lots of time to put into them, and the reason they get a snake is because snakes are not exactly like a dog. Dogs need constant attention. A snake, you can a snake, you can feed it once every 10 days. You can get it out a few times within them 10 days, fill up its water, and that's about as far as that goes. Obviously, I get it out a lot more because I love warmer reptiles, but with some people, if they just want a pet that they can get out every now and again, doesn't need a massive amount of retention, this is perfect. A humidity around 30 to 50%, I would say, is probably brilliant for them, but an occasional misting would probably be appreciated by them every now and again. Not constantly, but once every 4 or 5 days. So next category is requirement. Like all snakes, that they need a place to hide. And this is an absolute necessary for any snake that you're going to keep. I don't care who tells you they don't need one. It's a must. You cannot go without one. They also need a water bottle like any other. Now, for substrate, people recommend newspaper. I've never agreed to this, as I find out it's just easier. It's just ease on the owner. It's easier for them to clean it up. If you want to give your hognose an optimum living space for them to live in, the best substrate is aspen or wood chips. The people might say they might eat it, then let them eat it. If you're feeding it inside the vivarium, they will eat chips, they will eat aspen. If they start eating too much, you can change the substrate out. But in the wild, when they eat food, they come from, I'm not 100% sure where the region is, but they come from sandy, dirty areas. Now, when they eat a mouse, eat eggs from bearded dragons and so on, they're going to get substrate. There's no going around that fact. They're going to eat substrate. So, aspen and wood chips will be brilliant for them. The reason being, they are terrestrial snakes, and they do not climb, they do not spend lots of time up in trees. They love to burrow. With newspaper, all they can do is go underneath. They cannot burrow in their natural habitat. With wood chips and aspen, they can burrow all they want. So that category is lifespan. Now, if they kept in the optimum care, they can live between 15 and 18 years. They're not the longest living snake that you can buy, but they do live for a hefty time. And if you're going to buy one and you're going to give it the best living standards it can get, you have to realise it could be stuck with you for 15 years. So lastly is care level. So the care level on this will be slightly higher due to it being venomous, but easy to care for. And the lack of actual bite from it, I believe, will make a perfect pet for someone who understands the danger that could happen if you're allergic to the venom. It can range. I wouldn't recommend this to a younger person, but if you understand the venom of the snake and what could happen if you do get bitten, I say it's perfect. So that's it for the first episode of this series. Now please remember that all the other episodes will not be the same length as this and will focus more on the categories. This was just to explain a little bit about the series, and before I do go, I want to quickly say this is not going to be just for beginner snakes. It was to start off with, but I want to change it. So that being said, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and may have learnt something during this video. And remember, life is short, but the world is wide.